Hey, welcome back to Stu 55 and Beyond. Thanks a lot for coming along with me on this journey as I seek to get healthier, both physically, mentally, explore life. And one of the things that I realized in my steps of success that I need to do was eat healthier. My fork nearly killed me, and no one held a gun to my head while I was eating poorly and making bad decisions in my eating habits. No more burgers, fried chicken. So this week, I'm cooking kind of a Mexican salsa, chicken in the slow cooker with some salsa and beans, maybe some corn to get me through the week eating healthier. So really what I have, and I probably have one chicken breast too many, is 5 chicken breasts that I've washed and cleaned, some nature seasoning, because if you're not sneezing, you're not seasoning. We'll put this in the slow cooker, crock pot, whatever you call it where you're from, with a variety of things and break it up into 5 different meals for the week. And the good news is this meal stays pretty good in the fridge for several days. So season, cook, let that soak here, and then let's get all of our ingredients into the crock pot. So what we'll do is we'll add our chicken, get those guys in, 1 can of black beans. Oh, it smells good. Get that out of there. We'll get 1 can of water. And also make sure that we get all of our black beans out. And then I like it to have a lot of salsa in there. Once again, low calorie, trying to cut down on the salt just a little bit. Add in our salsa, mix it in, put the top on. And I'm a low and slow guy, so I will let this go for 8 hours. And there we go. See you when it's completed. What a week. Really good week from an exercise perspective as we work to climb the steps of success. Me, a person who was recently workforce reduced during this kind of lack of a better word, free time that I have that I may never get again until I officially retire. So, as I've indicated before, I'm working on my health, which includes, the high blood pressure, the obesity, diabetic, lowering my A1C1 numbers, and just a whole number of different health items that I'm working through during this period of time, as well as working on the mental side of it, right? How do you, get your mind right and at peace with your situation? Additionally, let's have some fun. Hopefully I get to travel and will be traveling throughout the US and throughout the world. You don't get this time back, and I realize that what is life about? Do I want to be on my funeral, have people speaking to me as he was the best employee, or was he the best father, husband, best friend? But one of the things I realized was I made a mistake. One of the things that I should have done first at the first step, or even climbing those steps of success, was go to the doctor. Had 3 doctor's appointments with my GP and 2 other specialists. And oh my goodness, let me just tell you how eye-opening those experiences are, right? I left each one of the appointments thinking I'm going to die tomorrow with how grave my numbers were. And once again, not their fault. No one made me do the things that I did. It really was all my actions that got me in this position, and truthfully, only my actions that will get me out. You do the blood, the urine test, and you sit down with the first doctor, and literally everything is in the red. High cholesterol, high blood pressure, bordering diabetic, numbers that all could be down. The big main one was the obesity, right? Which kind of dominoes into those other things, right? So that's probably where I should have started. I should have gotten a baseline of where I'm at and then where I need to go. You're this many pounds, here goes where you need to get to. Your cholesterol is this number, way above where it should be. Here goes where it needs to be. Your sugars or your A1C1 is here. Here goes where it needs to be. Because literally when you first go in the doctor's office, they're reading off those numbers. It is shocking, right? How bad things can be. But the good news is all things that I can control and improve. And they had repeated some of the things that I already started on, right? The 8 cups of water a day, eating healthy, which is just obvious. The activity was key. And then we just set some measurable goals that I think were fair and achievable to kind of hit over these next couple of weeks. One of the things that I'm going to focus on future videos is eating healthy, right? Really a strong focus on that. What we eat makes up so much of our our physical actions, whether it be cholesterol, the sugars, the fibers we eat, lowering the amount of empty calories I eat. And then, like I said, this has been a hard one, but easy one for me is the activity, right? Whether it's walking every day for 30 minutes, doing some kind of activity, breaking those systematic stagnation that had come into my play because I was a work from home employee and literally just sat there for 8 or 9 hours a day. Once again, that first step, if you're following along, go see your doctor, right? It really is. Once you leave out of there, you're realizing, hey, you are still alive. You still have hope. But the fact of the matter is I control what I eat, what I intake. I control my activity. And really had a good weekend doing that, right? In the last couple of days, walked the 5 days a week that I had set a goal as, and that was actually another change. Instead of focusing on the number of steps, I found time easier to measure and more accountable than steps. Getting 30 minutes of walking done every day was a good thing. I did it. And here where I live, we kind of got fooled. Spring kind of teased us. We had 3 real beautiful days to get out and go walking and just getting outside of the house. But it's back to kind of that pre-spring weather today, high 30s, low 40s. So, I'm not a go outside in the cold person, but, put a jacket on, get out there, doing more of that every day. And as the weather improves, get some vitamin D, get some sun. Not being in a car outside, but actually being outside with nature and walking. And the next couple of days we'll increase that by adding weights. So come along on that journey and see, weight programs, a number of different ones that you can do for someone over 50. And once again, starting off easy and then working your way up to the heavier, strength versus cardio. I don't need size. So I'm not in there trying to lift the heaviest. I'm going to do more of a cardio type program. But also the fun stuff. Hopefully putting together some itineraries for some fun trips coming up here in the next couple of weeks and kind of decide where I want to go for the remaining part of the year. This war thing is kind of making things interesting. It may not be global travel, it may just be here in the U.S. I continue living life as someone over 55. So if you're enjoying this video, if you're enjoying this journey, please remember to drop a like, subscribe, add your comments to what you're doing, your feedback. Love to hear from you guys out there. And so once again, thanks a lot for coming along on this journey, and I'll see you on the next one. Stu 55 and beyond. Thanks.